we're back for our final segment of Exploring Port St. Lucie, and with me right now is Officer Scott Johnson, Training Coordinator of the Motor Unit. Welcome, Scott, to Exploring Port St. Lucie.
Thank you, Ron.
How long have you been with the Motor Unit?
Wow.
First question, and are you the founder of it, or you seem to be the elder statesman or the elder spokesman?
Well, I'm one of the oldest of the unit, I guess you could say. I'm definitely not the founder. We've had motors here for a number of years. I came on with the Motor Unit in 2004. I became one of the instructors about 3.5, 4 years ago. So it's some big shoes to fill, but it's been an experience. Did
you come off the streets in a patrol car? Were you inside working, or just?
Yeah, I was actually on road patrol. Road patrol for a number of years. I came off for a while and went up to CID, and then came back to the Motor Unit, and here I am.
I think you're one of the ones that told me that the bike itself is your office, and the patrol car was constraining or constrictive, or you just weren't comfortable with it.
Yeah, we like to call them cages, and either we're caging it or we're not. So I feel more comfortable on the bike. It's very rewarding to ride. Very.
Like I said earlier in the show, Scott, I was able to witness you guys train, and I've run into you all over the community on some of your functions. We'll talk about the training part first.
Sure.
First of all, you invited me down. You said we have a skid pad down at the State College. Come on and watch us train. And I'm thinking, like in drag racing, they have a burnout pad. I figure a skid pad, maybe 30 yards by 10 yards.
Right.
The skid pad itself was probably the size of the parade deck at Paris Island.
Sure.
It's a large blacktop area, and you guys really put your troops through the paces with the exercises and the drills. Talk a little about that. You did about 5 or 6 of them when I was out there at the college?
Yeah, we did a half a day on the 5 or 6 different obstacle course, and what we set up is no course. And the main thing is we try to get our riders to push themselves to the very limits. One of the things I tell them is that when you drop the bike, don't get discouraged. When I see someone that's actually not dropping the bike, I know they're not pushing themselves to the full limitations of their riding ability. So we have some very, very experienced riders. They're good cops. They're good motormen. We do some awesome training, and we're looking for the next level. This year we're going to enter into some rodeos and hopefully fare pretty well. So it's just moving forward, which is nice.
You guys have won some awards too with one of your Ticket and Click It and Ticket program, and you got a bike out of it. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, a number of years ago, 3 years ago, we entered into the Florida Department of Transportation's Click It or Ticket campaign, to where our agency won in the Motor Unit Challenge. We won out of all the other agencies in the state of Florida, our size and our complement of motormen. We actually won a 2009 Harley Davidson fully dressed with all the bells and whistles. Boy. So it was a nice trophy to bring home.
I was going to say, bringing home a real trophy, boy. I wish you'd take me with you next time. Maybe you can get me one of those.
You're welcome to come.
I think you were telling me the bike dressed out with the equipment's close to 900 pounds.
Yeah, we've estimated about 863, 870 pounds.
Well, close enough to 900, depending on who's riding it.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
And one thing I did notice, that you're talking about pushing everybody from the training. I heard a lot of pipes dragging and a lot of saddlebag scraping on some of the maneuvers. And again, the difference in my mind after watching you guys is the difference between riding a bike. And I used to ride a long, long time ago. I think I shared that with you.
Yeah.
And really maneuvering the bike in the tight spots. I think the one exercise you did that really impressed the heck out of me was going from getting up to 40 miles an hour and doing a dead stop within 10 feet or something. And
yeah, that's called our break and escape. That's one of the more vital exercises we do, basically, because what it does is it designs the situation that in the street, if an unexpected threat or unexpected object enters your path or the roadway in front of you, the motorman has to make a decision very quickly to get the bike under control and control it in a confined space to maneuver and God forbid, not hit a car or a person or a child. So we work on that one quite a bit.
A lot of people think that some of your duties are ceremonial, but I'm beginning to learn that a lot of your duties are on patrol and on traffic enforcement and accidents. Again, a lot of people see at the parades, and like I do, and see at a lot of public functions, and it's nice to see the Harleys and hear them starting up and kick the tires. But again, I think after spending some time with you guys, I have better understand what you're doing. And can you expound a little bit more on the non-ceremonial duties you do, and then maybe some of the ceremonial duties you've done, and what your experience has been that way?
We've been very fortunate. We're not only built just for the parades. We've been We've been asked on several occasions to escort and protect the President of the United States when he's come through town.
Wow.
We've been involved in a lot of dignitary protection functions. We operate as one of the high aggressive units of the traffic unit. The bikes are more maneuverable. We're able to get into a lot of locations where a car can't. When it gets out into traffic, even though a lot of people may think it's more dangerous, which in some aspect it is, but the confidence of the riders and the training and experience of us, we feel as though it's a better machine to enable us to get through traffic and end up catching up with the violators before they either commit another crime or actually wreck into someone. So it's
I've seen you guys on escort too. You seem to know each other's moves sometimes at the intersection. One goes ahead and blocks off. Is that a planned strategy when you guys are riding?
Absolutely. We've worked with a lot of the neighboring agencies throughout the state of Florida, and all of us, it's kind of funny. They always say how the motormen are a different breed, and when we come together, we'll always find shade and we'll never go hungry. But yeah, we work very closely with other agencies on the different escorts and the different types of structure they put together with that. It'll used to be set up by one key motorman, which will always stay up front, and they nominate him as being motor one, and he calls out all the intersections where we need blocked, or where we need protection in order to get the package we call, or sometimes as the President, we get the package to safely deliver to where it needs to go.
Sort of like Peyton Manning calling signals out the line.
Yeah, absolutely, something like that.
I was surprised to learn, Scott, that in doing my research, that the first motorcycle police department, according to Harley Davidson, was 1908 in Detroit. And I didn't realize that motorcycle patrol and motorcycle squads were over 100 years old. It's a lot of longevity there.
It's interesting. My father was a motorman in 1947 in Columbus, Ohio. So that's kind of where I started. And we did opposite. I came from CID and went into motors. He went from motors into CID. But he was forced into it. He laid the bike down one night doing 90 miles an hour through a cornfield, and his captain, which turned out to be my godfather, years later, told him that Monday morning you go up to CID because he didn't want to see my father get hurt. So,
I don't know if your father's still alive or has passed away. Did your father see you ride, or was he took him out long enough to see you ride, or no?
The funny thing is, he never really bothered. He didn't mind me riding. I grew up on motorcycles. I grew up racing motocross. He never, for some reason, never wanted me to be a cop. And it was a year after I lost him. I tried the academy and came up, and hopefully he'll be okay with it when we see each other again. But and I hope I've done him a little bit of proud by doing what I'm doing. So.
Hey, a couple of quick things before we go. I do appreciate you and your officers being here, and maybe we can tour the bikes a little bit and pick them apart here. Two things. Some of the young persons have asked me before, how do you get involved in law enforcement, or what are you supposed to do to become a policeman and fireman? I get those questions quite a bit. Is there any career path knowledge you can lay on somebody watching, men and women that want to get involved in law enforcement, or go to take pre courses, college courses, the academy? What's the progression on getting into the police department, Scott?
Education is huge. Once you graduate high school or go through that, or your GED or whatnot, any college classes is phenomenal. Getting involved with the local colleges that have law enforcement academies. IRSC is a fantastic program. I went through there back in 1994. Palm Beach College also. Come along and do ride-alongs. Get involved in our Explorer program. There's a lot of people getting involved in this line of work that do very well and really enjoy it, and there's others that once they get involved, they see that maybe this isn't for me. But of all the people that I've met and worked with, they've all seemed to really, really enjoy what they're doing, because you get to help people and you get to educate people, and that's the main thing.
And you have an active Police Explorer unit.
Yes.
I've met some of them, and some of them are going to the academy, and some plan on coming back to Port St. Lucie and making that their home and making their place of work too.
Oh, I hope so. There's some really good candidates in that group. I've worked with them young men and women quite a bit, and they're going to make great cops one day for sure.
One more thing before I let you go. Any riding tips for motorcycle riders out there? Anything professional you can tell them? Wear protective clothing, obviously, and no flip-flops, or can you go beyond about that, or safety tips for bikers right now?
Yeah, absolutely. The big thing is people talk about helmets, and when I was young, sometimes I didn't wear a helmet, but being in this line of work and being a traffic crash reconstructionist, I'm an advocate about wearing your helmet. Flip-flops, yeah, absolutely. When you're doing 70 miles an hour down Port St. Lucie Boulevard or wherever you're at, and suddenly you have to stop and you get a pair of flip-flops on. That's the last time you want to be thinking about, well, I should have wore boots or sneakers or something else. And the main thing is just riding safe. I mean, we've actually seen people texting on a motorcycle. We stopped a young lady one day who actually had her 4-year-old daughter strapped to her back and tied in the front. It just takes some common sense. It really does. And you know, the trick maneuvers and the wheelies and stuff, we try to tell people that, you know, that's all fine and dandy, but do it on a course that's shut down, not in the public, because you're going to end up hurting or killing someone. So we try to just keep everybody safe.
Points well taken, Scott.
Thank you.
Again, I want to thank you and your men for being here today, and I want to thank all the men and women of the Port St. Lucie Police Department for making this the safest city of its size in the state of Florida.
Thank you,
protecting our quality of life and low crime rate going down and re-accreditation for the police department. You guys should be awfully proud. I'm awfully proud of you guys and the work you do, and I know the citizens are too. And thank you for being with us and exploring Port St. Lucie.
It means a lot, Ron. This is our home too, so it means a lot. Thank you.
Thanks again for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
Again, that concludes our program for today. Be with me next time for another adventure of exploring Port St. Lucie.